Dalawang SUVs, dalawang magkaibang atake. Isang tradisyonal dahil matagal na sa Pilipinas at yung isa naman bago sa bansa natin but is already making noise internationally. We will be comparing the Mitsubishi Montero Sport GLS and the Jetour T1 Lightning IDM. Bago natin pag-usapan yan, napansin namin na marami pa rin sa inyo hindi naka-follow at naka-subscribe sa mga channels and pages ng Motor1. Malaking tulong ang inyong mga like, comment, at share to be sure na mas marami pang makakapanood ng mga video na to at para laging updated every time meron tayong bagong video. Montero Sport is priced at 1,927,000 while the Jetour T1 is priced at 1,798,000. Sa video na to, we will be comparing the practical specs, functions, and features, normally what matters to us on our daily driving experience. Compare muna natin yung looks or forma ng dalawang sasakyan na to. Siyempre, depende yan sa taste mo. But looking at the Montero, overall, this has that more sporty feel. Yung angulo niya, yung linyahan niya, it creates that sleek attack pagdating sa kanyang design. Very sleek and sporty yung kanyang mga headlight assembly. Nandiyan na rin yung kanyang DRLs. Very evident din naman yung kanyang signal light assembly. And you have the front grille right here in front, sa baba ng pinaka-headlight assembly and ng hood natin. And then if you're looking at it from the side, what you will see is smooth flowing lines with very minimal accents. So it has that simplistic attack pagdating sa kanyang side. It doesn't have a lot of lines, it doesn't have a lot of angles. It is what it is. Sabi nga natin, this goes with a traditional look ng mga Japanese SUVs that we have grown accustomed to. Pagdating naman sa likod, yung kanyang taillight assembly, it's vertically positioned. So wala tayong mga ilaw-ilaw dito sa tailgate natin. But the brake lights, the taillights, and the signal lights are all enjoined dito sa vertical assembly. Pagdating naman sa T1, the overall look for this is it has that boxy, elegant feel. It has that wide body. We have two parts of grille. Yung one is under the hood, the other one is part of the bumper. And then we have a DRL spreading across the hood right here. Pagdating naman sa kanyang headlight assembly, it adds to that boxy feel kasi napaka-minimalist and just a simple shape but it blends well with the design. The signal lights as well, it has that 4 directional lights. So hindi ito yung conventional signal lights natin na naka-separate pa yung pinaka-bulb niya. For the fog lamp, it is discreetly placed sa kanyang bumper. So pag tiningnan mo naman siya sa side, it has that sharp angle creating that boxy feel. It doesn't have any loud lines or decals pagdating dito sa side niya, creating that elegant premium look. Mapapansin natin sa bawat angulo, sa bawat component sa T1, it has that mga minimal box components pero elegante in the tank. Because even if we go to the rear, what we can see is kahit yung taillight assembly niya, it's also box type. So again, 4-directional yung signal lights. It doesn't have a separate signal light, so creating that more modern feel, and you just have this embossed Jetour branding. So especially if you're someone who wants to have a fresh design, a fresh concept ng kotse, lalong-lalo na versus sa mga nakikita natin sa Pilipinas, then you can go for the T1. If you're someone who still wants that traditional look pagdating sa SUVs, then you can go for the Montero. Again, this is very subjective. So pagdating sa looks, ikaw magde-decide yan. I-comment mo sa baba kung ano sa dalawang to ang mas maporma para sa'yo. Siyempre, importante pag-usapan natin yung power and the performance of the engine. First, for the Montero, let's pop the hood para makita nyo rin yung makina. This one still has that diesel power. You know, sabi nga natin, yung traditional na nakasanayan natin pagdating sa mga ganitong type ng SUVs. For the power profile, actually for the Montero, this delivers 181 horsepower and about 430 Newton meters worth of torque. While for the T1 Lightning IDM, kakaiba yung engine na to, especially pagdating dito sa atin sa Pilipinas because this now has that hybrid engine. Meaning to say, we have a gas-powered engine and at the same time, we have an electric-powered motor. Given the IDM hybrid profile para dito sa makina ng T1 natin, look at that hood. Already powered by hydraulic, so you don't have to exert effort. Sorry, medyo segue lang ang konti. Ayan, no? That's nice. Especially pag ganitong mainit yung araw, mainit yung hood mo, you don't have to lift it manually. Going back to our engine profile, because of the hybrid engine, this now gives you a total of 342 horsepower and 525 Newton meters worth of torque. We don't normally get that sa mga ganitong size ng SUVs, but you get that sa T1. Kadalasan yan sa mga bigger SUVs pa eh. And to directly compare their numbers, kasi kung titingnan natin pagdating sa engine and power output, medyo malayo yung lamang ni T1 kay Montero. We actually put that into acceleration test para talaga makita natin ano nga ba yung difference in power and delivery pagdating sa dalawang sasakyan na to. 3, 2, 1. Second round. Shifting to hybrid mode and then sport mode. Testing the Montero acceleration, automatic mode, first try. Ready, set. So what I noticed when driving both of these cars is for the Montero, we got that steady diesel power. Kumbaga pag tinapakan natin yung accelerator, we don't get that punch right away. Medyo may slow build up siya. Alam naman na natin yan sa mga diesel engines, especially for these types of vehicles. Dun ka pa lang talaga bubuelo for you to get to higher speeds. And then ang napansin ko, right around mga 110, 120 kilometers per hour, you get that minimal vibration. At least I felt it sa steering wheel ko. Not bothersome, completely normal dahil nga this is running on pure diesel power. While for the T1, because of the hybrid setup of its engine, again, we get the gas power, we get the electric power, wala tong delay when you step on your accelerator. You immediately get that punch at saka yung feel na may ano pa nga may inertia na talagang mapapa-atras ka when you punch that accelerator, giving you that very dependable, very powerful engine or power delivery when you need it. Especially when you're overtaking, especially when you're in a rush or you just really want to have that good head start when driving. The T1 gives that. And ang napansin ko naman, again, because of the hybrid engine, the acceleration is smoother, very minimal vibrations, actually halos wala. And that makes it enjoyable to drive. So let's talk about the range at saka efficiency. Gaano nga ba katipid itong dalawang sasakyan na to? For the Montero, for the city driving, you can probably get around 8 to 10 kilometers per liter. Sa highway, you can get about 11 to 14 kilometers per liter. Now, given its fuel tank capacity, so in one full tank, you will get about 740 to 750 kilometers. Again, sa isang full tank, kaya yung sagara nun. And then, heading over to the T1, malakas yung engine, hybrid, so we will be expecting baka malakas to sa gas. Actually, for the combined range ng Jetour T1 Lightning IDM, in one full tank and one full charge of battery, you can get up to 1,200 kilometers. So roughly, that's about, what? Less than 500 kilometers more that you can get out of the full tank ng Montero kasi nga, you're using both gas and battery. And then since this is a plug-in hybrid, you have the option not to use gas. So you have the option to go full electric. Then I just get to use the advantages of using the electric powered engine with me not to having to spend a single dime on gas. So that's the huge advantage for the Jetour T1 when it comes to range. Kasi for pure electric motor alone, you will get about 110, 120, maybe even 130 kilometers of range. Again, on pure electric. And then one more thing that I was pleasantly surprised is the T1 actually generates power on its own. Meaning to say, nagcha-charge siya. So from Camp John Hay, pababa ko ng Cannon Road, from 90% na battery ko, nag-charge siya all the way up to 99%. Why? Kasi pababa na tayo ng Baguio. So I very minimal accelerator lang ako and then I just use it free-flowing pababa until nakikita mo nagre-recharge talaga, nagre-regenerate yung battery mo. So before ako makaabot ng Tiplex entry, nasa 99% na yung battery ko. Very good. Tipid, no? There will be times na gugustuhin mong mag-shift when it comes to its different driving modes. Pag-usapan natin yan. Dito man tayo kay Montero. Now, for the Montero Sport, at least for this model, meron tayong dalawang driving modes. The one that we're using now is the fully automatic. It's very just straightforward. Shift it to drive mode and then the engine, the vehicle will adjust the gearing for you. Syempre, habang bumibilis. For more old school drivers, yung gusto nilang mas controlled sila in terms of gaano kalakas yung hatak, yung power delivery na gusto nilang ma-experience or gusto nilang maramdaman depending on the terrain, pataas, pababa, cornering, etc. The Montero Sport actually has that function where we can shift to manual pero paddle shift. Now, that's for the Montero. We head over to our T1 Lightning IDM to check ano bang mga driving modes ang meron for this vehicle. Test naman natin ngayon yan. The T1 actually has more driving modes. We actually have the option to go from hybrid. Again, for those new in the hybrid vehicles, this will give you a combination of hybrid, gas, and electric, or you can just go full electric. Right now, I am on Eco mode. This is actually the first driving mode that you can. So for the Eco mode, ito yung tipid mode. The vehicle adjusts itself for you to be able to maximize the fuel consumption, the battery consumption. Yun na nga, tipid. So normally, when I use the T1, again, I've been using this for several weeks now. Eco mode lang okay na ako eh. On more challenging terrains, we can go to snow mode. Obviously, walang snow sa Pilipinas, but I normally use this kapag madulas yung daan. Medyo umuulan-ulan ng konti, madulas ng konti. The vehicle actually modulates the control ng delivery ng power. Kaya hindi siya basta-basta dudulas. And then we also have, eto na, the sport mode. For the sport mode, eto na yung you will really feel the punch. Kung gusto mong mas hahataw ka talaga at mga walang delay and you really just want to maximize the power that the T1 will give you, maximize the acceleration, maximize the speed. Eto, ayun o, kita mo yung punch niya. Again katulad ito, pataas pa to. Look at our terrain. Pataas. Eto, tingnan mo yung response time na to. Gas. Ooh! Grabe yan. That's what the sports mode gives you. Talagang pagtapak mo, wapak, and then walang delay in terms of power, even if you are speeding up. Another one is normal mode. Ito, this is just finding the balance between having that punch, having that power, and eco mode. Yun naman yung normal mode. So having that flexibility, having the driving modes, having the option to go hybrid or just pure electric, really gives me that flexibility as to what I want to use. Tapos, it's all automated. You actually can just play around with the settings as to what driving mode, what settings will work for you, and the vehicle will do it for you. These are not off-road SUVs, but occasionally you may have the urge para dalhin to sa mga provincial roads, light trail, syempre mga camping at gusto mo bumisita sa iba't ibang lugar. Kaya naman, pati sa mga ganitong type ng kalsada, susubukan natin itong dalawang to. When it comes to the Montero in terms of suspension, handling, overall comfort, lalong-lalo na pagdating sa mga unpaved roads katulad ng mga dinadaanan natin ngayon, you still get that feel of bumpiness, if there is such a word. Ramdam mo pa rin talaga yung lubak, although there's some sort of comfort dahil because of the big tires and because of the ground clearance. But the main difference talaga is mararamdaman mo kapag nag-wave na yung pinaka-body ng Montero, some sort of ruggedness and heaviness when maneuvering sa mga hindi masyadong pantay-pantay na kalsada. When it comes to the Jetour T1, updated na kasi yung steering system na to. This now uses electric steering system and multi-link suspension that keeps the vehicle planted. Mas kalmado siya, kumbaga, responsive. So overall, you have that sense and feeling of stability for the driver and even for the passengers. Actually, pag mga nagsasakay ako dito, during the test runs natin, yun talaga na-appreciate nila na kahit na lubak-lubak yung kalsada, ang swabe lang nung pagkakaandar, ang swabe lang nung feel ng mga passenger natin sa loob. For those of you who are worried about the placement of the battery and especially bringing this vehicle sa mga ganitong type ng lugar, ganitong type ng kalsada, huwag kayong mag-alala because the battery is pretty much guarded. Very much guarded because it has metal guards, side guards, aluminum bottom guards that keeps your battery safe no matter what the terrain is. Personally, for me, driving both of these cars, yun yung isa talaga sa mga mapapansin mo na ang laki ng diferensya driving an electronic steering wheel system versus a hydraulic system. So after the driving experience when it comes to handling suspension, tingnan naman natin how it goes as passenger, as someone who sits inside the vehicle. So for the driver's seat, these are electronically adjustable with the press of a button dito sa gilid natin. Pero for the rest, manual na siya. Like this one, yung ating passenger seat. Yan. And then this one. Yan. Ito, yung driving position ko when it comes to the space. Ito, medyo tumatama lang yung tuhod ko sa ilalim ng manibela. But, you know, that's fine. It's not like I will move my knees or my legs or anything like that. Ito na yung normal riding position ko. For reference, mga brother, I am 5'10" in height and hindi ako masyadong malapit sa steering wheel kapag nagmamaneho. So, this is my standard driving position. Now, given this standard driving position, tingnan naman natin yung space ng passenger ko sa likod. So, if for example, kasing height ko yung pasahero ko, this is how it will look like. Enough, says about 3 inches space sa sandagan ng driver. And then I have the option to slightly adjust yung sandagan dito sa likod with enough headroom, again for my height. Meron lang ditong bump for this one. Now, if you are traveling in bigger groups, yun yung isang advantage ng Montero because this is actually a 7-seater. So the entrance is, we just need to fold the middle seat. So again, for my height, I am 5'10". Yun lang, medyo ano na to, medyo pigit na to. This feels a little awkward because look at my yung position ng legs ko. So given yung normal na position nung nasa second row yan. So dikit na siya, you cannot stretch your legs at least again for my height. So apparently, it gives you a way, nag-a-adjust siya automatically, and then when you close your door for the driver's side, it automatically adjusts dun sa setting. So for the T1, the driver's side is electronically adjustable, and also for the passenger side. Ano naman yung button niya. You know what's good about this is, nung may pasahero ako dito, naingit talaga ako sa passenger ko because it actually has a lazy boy function. There! Ito lang talaga yung tutulugan ka ng pasahero mo. It will be unfair if you are the driver. Look at that. Diba? And for additional comfort, lalong-lalo na sa mga ganito kainit na panahon, it's already summer. You actually have the option dito sa infotainment natin for you to turn on yung ventilation for your seats. So literal, there's cold air coming out of your seats. Hindi lang sa driver's side, also for the passenger side. May mga slots to that's open that you can actually feel the ventilation. And this actually has a memory setting for your seats. So when we go to our infotainment display, we go to the seats menu. For this one, halimbawa, Juan, ito yung gusto kong setting ng upuan ko. So when I press this, so the seats will automatically adjust kung ano yung sinave ko dito. That also goes the same for the passenger seat. So that's you know, very nice for the convenience. So for this one, I have a lot of leg room. Flooring for the second row or the middle row. Flat lang talaga. Wala yung mga nakaharang or mga hamstring. Let's talk about the features naman. Exterior muna tayo. So first, obviously keyless. You have an option to just press the handlebar dito sa driver's side for you to lock or unlock the Montero. And then, for the T1, we have an automated tailgate, which is just a simple press of a button sa likod. Or, yung sa remote natin. Just press this, and there you go. So, automated tailgate, definitely additional convenience instead of you pulling up the actual tailgate. And then, for you to close it, again, press of a button from your key, or just simply press yung button natin dito sa mismong tailgate. Whilst for the Montero, we actually don't have an option to press kasi nga hindi siya automated, pero meron tayong manual tailgate. So press the button here, opens up, and then just pull it manually. So may hydraulic assist pa rin naman siya para hindi siya sosobra or anything like that. Additional external feature that the T1 has is the adaptive LED light. Ito naman yung when you are going to your left or moving to your right, then umiilaw yung side na yun ng fog lamp mo. Just a cool feature to have, especially for less lit places. magiging malaking advantage yun. Now we proceed sa interior features. Dito muna tayo sa Montero Sport. First, we have an 8-inch display with some of the settings. So we have a built-in navigation. Obviously, that would have to be connected sa phone mo for that to function. And then we have several multimedia options, phone connectivity as well. And this is also Apple CarPlay and Android Auto ready. For the digital display or instrument panel, it still has that analog. So RPM and speedometer are still analog. Couple of USB slots right here. Dalawa yan. And then isang 12-volt socket and an HDMI slot as well. And then sa middle row, what we have is a couple of USB charging port and a 220-volt socket. And then right here, we have an armrest with a couple of cup holders. And then for the Jetour T1, what we have, una, yung display talaga, this will catch your attention, a 15.6 touchscreen display. So very intuitive. It's really like just using your tablet. It's also Apple CarPlay and Android Auto ready. And we actually have a lot of options here. Hindi ko na lang talaga isa-isahin. Just, you can just, you're free to play around with it. And then for our instrument panel, it's already digital, which you can also switch yung looks niya from time to time by just going to the display. And then depende na lang sa'yo kung anong look yung gusto mo dito sa yung digital display. And then we have a couple of charging slots on this side. Sa passenger side, may isang USB slot and isang Type-C. And then sa driver side, we have a couple of USB slots. On top of that, we have phone holders right here. So this is where I keep my phone. And then the other side supports wireless charging. Very efficient. For this one, yan, mas malalim to kaysa sa Montero. You can put a lot of items there. Ang unique function nito is this actually has a cooler. So you just have to open the vent dito sa loob. So in case you're traveling, bumili ka ng whatever drinks sa convenience store, just place it there para hindi basta-basta mawawala yung lamig niya. Kasi nga, eto, this supports cooling function for your drinks. Not a chiller, but a cooler just so hindi basta-basta iinit yung drinks na binili mo. The T1 also supports voice control. What do I mean? Hello, Jetour?
Please continue.
Turn AC to max.
A or C max on.
There. So you can play around. Marami itong voice controls actually, like, hello, Jetour?
Here.
Open sunroof.
Okay.
Oh yeah, by the way, this has a sunshade and sunroof that you can open totally. So you can enjoy the view, you can enjoy the breeze. Siguro hindi na lang ngayon dahil sobrang summer na, but at least you have that option. Sa gabi, masarap yun buksan. Voice activated, or you can just simply use the buttons that we have or the manual buttons that we have right here. Hello, Jetour?
Here.
Open windows.
Okay.
Diba? Kung medyo tamad mode ka, or just say hello, Jetour for you to prompt the AI, or just simply press a button dito sa steering wheel natin.
Here.
Close windows. And then this also has ambient lighting. And then the infotainment displays actually has 1080 settings. So maginaw talaga siya. Couple of air vents dito sa middle natin. And you have a USB charging port, another Type-C charging port, a small pocket right here. And we also have a cup holder. Yeah, straightforward. Pagbaba, andyan na rin. Or simply functions as your armrest. Siyempre, we also need to consider the warranty coverage for both of these vehicles for our peace of mind. The Montero, again, has been here for years and years now. This has a 3-year warranty or 100,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. Now, the T1 actually provides 6-year general warranty or 1 million kilometers. Grabe, 1 million. Or whichever comes first, also provides 8-year battery warranty and 10 years engine warranty. If that peace of mind is something that can be a deciding factor for you, you might want to consider that. Pagdating naman sa pyesa, syempre namang si Montero dyan. Dahil matagal na si Montero dito sa Pilipinas, you can get a lot of parts and aftermarket accessories for the Montero. While the T1 IDM, since this is younger in the Philippine market, hindi pa siya ganun kakagat. But take note that Jetour already has a warehouse pagdating sa mga pyesa and spare parts ng T1, so we won't have to worry too much if in case may kailangan palitan, may masira, whatever happens, at least alam mo, meron ka makukuha na ng pyesa. Aftermarket accessories may be limited for now because of how young the car is dito sa Pilipinas. But sooner or later, dadami din naman yan. And then what sets up Jetour T1 heading into the more futuristic modern take is the integration of the smartwatch. What I have is the Active Life smartwatch. Yung first few hundred customers ng T1, they were able to get it for free. But for the other T1 owners, you will have the option to pre-order this at 16,300 pesos. So this smartwatch is able to track your workouts, your health, your sports activities, and all that stuff, and a lot more. Pati yung mga social media notifications it's already tied up here. But this is already linked to your T1 as well. So you will have several functions, just like opening your tailgate, na naka-link or naka-tie-up na dito sa T1. Apart from opening the tailgate, you will also have the option to lock it, to unlock it, and to remotely start your Jetour T1. One of the things that I really appreciate sa paggamit ng Jetour T1 is the fact that it has an available Active Life smartwatch. So all I have to do is turn on the car using my watch. There you go. It's already turned on. So kahit habang nag-chill ako dito, let's say nagko-coffee pa ako, nakikipagkwentuhan pa ako sa mga kabarkada ko, the T1 is already turned on with the air conditioning, with all the system turned on. Kaya by the time na makarating ako sa kanya, after some time, malamig na yung aircon. Tsaka isa pa, it's safe because the T1 keeps locked. Hindi siya basta mabubuksan kahit na naka-on na yung makina. And again, dahil meron tayong Active Life smartwatch, simply unlock it. Mas malamig na. And we're good to go. Siyempre, it's also important to consider the safety systems that we have on both of these SUVs. Sa Montero, you have the 360 camera angle, you have the airbags, you have the ABS. Basically, the basic safety that you might be looking for in SUV. But what the T1 does is basically your option to turn on all of the automatic driving assist features that you may have. From the blind spot detection, to the lane change assist, to the collision warning. Hindi ko na isa-isahin, but this basically shows you that the T1 gives you more flexibility as to what safety feature you would need on top of the 540 panoramic view for your camera and other high-tech safety features na you can think of. This is already included sa T1. And then when it comes to ease of driving, lalo na pagdating sa mga expressway, the Montero has that cruise control. Pero meron siyang minimum speed. Alam ko nasa mga 40 kilometers per hour for you to be able to activate it. So all we have to do is once we hit the minimum speed, just press the cruise control and then just let go of the pedal. Control ka na lang sa brakes, syempre. It's not adaptive, so kailangan nakaabang ka pa rin sa brakes in case may magka-cut off sa'yo or merong sasakyan na babagal sa harap mo. And then, kung si Montero merong cruise control, this, among other things, also has that function. So all you have to do is press yung cruise control function, this one, and yun na. Foot off the gas, ikaw na bahala mag-set ko anong speed. So right now, we are set at about 34 kilometers per hour. But I have the option to increase the speed using just the buttons dito sa steering wheel ko. But the advantage of the T1 is this actually has a function, yung adaptive cruise control. Meaning to say, you're cruising at, let's say, 100 kph, 100 kilometers per hour, or 80 kilometers per hour. If nag-slow down yung nasa harap mo, you can actually also control the distance kung kailan siya mag-a-adapt. Then, the vehicle will also slow down without you having to disengage yung cruise control, without you having to press on the brakes. Si T1 na mismo yung mag-slow down. So, mas relax yung driving experience. So, let's recap. The Montero sits at 1,927,000 and you get that familiar SUV category feel that has offered dependability because of the number of years na nandito siya sa Pilipinas. While the T1 IDM sits at 1,798,000 and what you will be getting is the modern performance, hybrid engine, unique look pagdating dito sa Philippine market, and more high-tech and modern practical features that we can take advantage on our daily riding experience. So given the price, the features, the specs, the functions, alin nga ba sa dalawang to ang maswak para sa'yo? I-comment mo sa baba at pag-usapan natin yan. In the meantime, para hindi ka magkuhuli sa mga reviews, tips, and updates when it comes to these types of videos, be sure to follow lahat ng mga social media pages natin, katulad ng TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. This is Motor1 for first ever car comparison review. See you next video. Salut!